Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we will be talking about this interesting new poll sponsored by the Financial Times that show that American voters have more trust in Kamala Harris regarding the U.S. economy than Donald Trump. Now this is just so interesting because the Republican Party for decades now has been the party of business, of the economy. They are known as the party, if you're voting on economy, then you always vote Republican because they support tax cuts, especially for businesses, so that businesses can grow. That's at least what it says in their policy platform, and all that. Of course, you can debate whether or not Democratic presidents, the economy has been stronger under Democratic or Republican presidents, but the point being, the Republican presidential candidates are the candidate of the economy. So seeing Kamala Harris now more trusted on economic issues than Donald Trump, that is just so insane. Now let's look at the results of this poll. So in this poll, that question, who do you trust more on the economy? I wish it said it, but you see that Kamala Harris is ahead of Donald Trump. It's very narrow, right? It looks like it's about 42 to 41. It looks like she's only up by a point. But look at where Biden was. Biden, it looks like, is around 35% right before he dropped out in July. 35. Trump was ahead at about 42, or 41, whatever. So, Kamala Harris, for whatever reason, has been able to, be so much more trusted with the economy, according to American voters, than Joe Biden was, which is just an interesting dynamic to see, considering that they are part of the same administration and everything. So, it is important. This proves that it is important, and it helps Kamala Harris that she has not been president. The incumbency factor typically is beneficial to a candidate like Barack Obama in 2012, or George W. Bush in 2004. However, Trump and Biden were so deeply unpopular candidates, where someone fresh, someone new, who hasn't been in the Oval Office, that absolutely helps them win, for Kamala Harris's case, over Donald Trump. So even though they're part of the same administration, and if you disapprove of Joe Biden's handling of the economy, then you'd think that you would disapprove of Kamala Harris's handling of the economy, because they have made the same decisions. They're part of the same exact administration. For whatever reason, enough of Americans do not feel that way, and they trust Kamala Harris more with the economy than Donald Trump. Now, this really raises the question. What do I have here? I'll get to that in a second. But this raises the question, which I think is hugely important. What does Donald Trump have over Kamala Harris? Because the economy should have been the one thing, and it typically is. In past elections, the economy is typically the thing that Republicans run on, I won't go into it, I guess. But, Democrats, they really do have policies that are more in line with the American voters. American voters are more progressive, especially on economic issues, than they might think. When you ask them about universal health care, and I'm not saying the Democratic Party supports that, but it is a left-leaning policy. The vast majority of Americans support universal health care. They support overwhelmingly background checks, red flag laws when it comes to the issue of guns. They really align with the Democratic Party. But the economy is the one thing where Republicans have been trusted more in the past. A lot of people vote Republican because of the economy. And, Donald Trump talks a lot about the economy during his 4 years, before COVID, in stark contrast to the first years of the Biden administration where there was massive inflation, high prices, prices for housing has gone through the roof. It's uncomprehendable, some of these prices. And that seems to be what Donald Trump has been really running his campaign on significantly, aligning Kamala Harris with this unpopular Joe Biden administration economic agenda. Clearly, it is not working because, for whatever reason, Kamala Harris is ahead. So if Kamala Harris has these social, more social, I don't want to say all social, but if her social policies are so more in line with the American electorate, and she's talking about, especially social issues that the American electorate aligns with more, like free lunch in schools, or again, universal background checks for guns, all of that. If she's talking about that, and she's got the advantage when it comes to the economy, what does Donald Trump have on her? And another thing to remember is that Donald Trump is now the unlikable, old candidate that Joe Biden was before. That was the issue for Joe Biden. He wasn't competent enough. And now we have a stark contrast between Trump, who is almost the same age as Biden, definitely not suffering as much, but, definitely suffering in some capacity, versus someone who is 20 years younger, much more competent, much more able to get, full thoughts through. So we have polling about this. Would Harris or Trump's age have an impact on their abilities as president? Trump, no impact. Only 30% of voters say that his age will have no impact on how he serves as president. That means a good chunk of Republicans, of his own supporters, think that maybe, he is a little old. Maybe his age will hurt him. Kamala Harris, no impact, double that, 60%. Severely / little impact. So this just means, any impact at all. Donald Trump at 60%. Wait, okay. This is worded so weird. So no impact. Whatever, 60%. I don't want to figure what this means right now. Compared to Kamala Harris's 27. I think they said it wrong, because that doesn't even make sense at all. Anyway, moving on from that, Donald Trump, he doesn't even have the age factor. That was another thing against Biden. Donald Trump is old, but at least he could get sentences out. In the debate, there was a stark contrast. Even though Trump's thoughts, voters believed in focus groups after, Trump didn't have the best thoughts and best ideas and best vision for the future, at least he could actually get sentences out. Joe Biden could not. Now, there is a contrast. Kamala Harris absolutely can. And this is big. The showdown is set. They are debating on September 10th in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, presumably, hosted by ABC News. So that contrast will be in full display during that debate. So, this is really, really important. Not even because that many Americans will vote simply on economy. I think that less and less Americans are starting to vote less on economy and more on vibes, to be completely honest with you. That's what it seems like to me. However, it really signifies something greater, that Kamala Harris is just trusted all around on issues. There was a poll done pretty recently. I couldn't find it to pull up, but there was one where they asked a wide range of issues, and Kamala Harris, who would you trust more on these issues? Kamala Harris beat Trump on, I think, almost every single one. There were like 12, I think, and Trump won in like 2 of them. I wish I could remember what some of the issues were or what the results were, but just so interesting to see that Kamala Harris, it seems like just because she is younger, she is now more trusted on all of these issues, because this was not the same with Joe Biden. On these same, you can see it here, on these same questions, who would you trust more? Joe Biden was down. He was down below Donald Trump, but Kamala Harris is not. They're part of the same administration. You would think that they would have the same exact results to these questions, but no. The why that is, it runs deeper than the surface. It's because Kamala Harris is younger. It's because she's more competent and able, and it's because she is a fresh face. Yes, she's vice president, but she has not been president. She has not been in politics for decades like Joe Biden, or since national politics. Since 2016, like Donald Trump has been. She is a whole new fresh face, and that ultimately helps her tremendously. So, very odd stuff from this poll. This is just something that you don't see. You never see Democrats lead on this issue. Even among very popular Democrats, I would assume, like Barack Obama, he was very popular, at least in 2008. I would definitely think that in 2012, or in 2008, I mean, the Republicans would be more trusted on the economy issue, but maybe not enough voters voted directly on the economy. The last time that the American electorate really trusted a Democrat fully with the economy was Bill Clinton, and that was in the 90s. He had a great economy. So we will see how this plays out. So really, the question is, what does Trump have on Harris? Because the campaign for him has not been going good. He clearly has nothing on her, it looks like. I mean, he's attacking her for being a DEI hire. So we will see how this plays out. But Donald Trump definitely needs to get his game up if he wants to win this election, because now he is not even trusted on the economy. That's when you know things are not looking good for his campaign. So thank you all for watching this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe down below. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers before Election Day. So if you could help me out and help us get there, that would be great. So again, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.